The letters of any word can be rearranged. Carol believes that the number of different 9-letter arrangements of the word Tennessee is greater than the number of different 7-letter arrangements of the word Vermont. Is she correct? Justify your answer. So Carol's assumption is that there's more ways you can rearrange the letters of Tennessee than Vermont. Well, Tennessee has more letters, so that kind of makes sense, right? But what might Carol be overlooking? Vermont, 7-letter word, has 7 unique letters, right? There's no repeat letters in Vermont. But Tennessee has 4 E's and 2 N's and 2 S's. So some of those arrangements, that's going to reduce the total number of arrangements because it's the same whether you put E in a different location. Let me give you a simple example of this that might make a little more sense. If I have, let's take a really short word. If I have cat, how many ways can I arrange that? Well, I can do C-A-T, C-T-A, T-A-C, T-C-A, A-C-T, and A-T-C, right? So there's 6 ways because they're unique letters. But what if I have something like Bob, where I have a repeated letter? Well, I can do Bob, or I can do B-B-O, or I can do O-B-B, and that's it. The reason is because if I were to switch this B and this B, it would still be the same. It would still be B-O-B. So the idea here is that we have to use a method that allows us to count for the total number of arrangements of unique letters, like the word Vermont, and then we have to reduce that by taking into account any repeated letters that the word might have. So let's do Vermont first. Vermont has 7 unique letters, so we're going to use the factorial. 7 factorial. That's going to tell us the number of different possible arrangements for the word Vermont. And I put that directly into my calculator. If you're using the TI-83, then you can put 7 and then go over to Math and over to Probability and then down to the 4th choice, which is the factorial. Looks like an exclamation point. And then what this essentially does is multiply 7 times 6 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that's what a factorial is, and that will give us the number of arrangements. So this turns out to be 5,040 different arrangements for Vermont. Quite a few, right? Now what about Tennessee? Well, Tennessee has more, so it's 9 factorial, but then we have to divide that by the number of ways you could arrange the common letters. So there's 4 E's, we divide it by 4 factorial. And there's 2 N's, so we also divide by 2 factorial. And there's 2 S's, so we divide by 2 factorial again. So what does this work out to be? I put this into my calc, and by the way, these are being multiplied, right? So 4 factorial, you can find out what that is. I think it's 24. 2 factorial is just 2 times 1, which is just 2. And then 2 times 1 again. So I put this into my calculator as well, and I got 3,780 arrangements. So this is arrangements for Tennessee, and this is for Vermont. And as you can see, even though Vermont only has 10 letters, it's greater. There's a greater number of arrangements for Vermont than for Tennessee.